Thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Peter Paccone, and I do teach at San Marino High School 30 years now. And yeah, high school social studies. And in the last two ed camps, I got asked some questions, and it inspired me. So I'm going to try something with you guys that I have never done before. I have given an ed talk at the last 3 Better Together Teacher Summits, and I always come up here, I bring my computer, and I read off my script, and I have my slides. I'm going to walk away from my script. I'm going to walk away from my slide. I feel a little adventuresome right now, and here's what got this thing started. Earlier, we saw Flipgrid. We saw Sir Ken Robinson answer questions via Flipgrid. And in those ed camp sessions, I realized something, that many of you, am I right here? Raise your hand, please. How many of you heard or have never, let me rephrase that, how many of you have never heard of Flipgrid before? My goodness gracious. Well, all right, so what is the great wish of a speaker today? Mine was starting off to tell you these 3 things, and I'm going to try to get to those 3. But the great wish is that the speaker here today leave you with something new and leave you with something valuable. And so here's my one great shot at it right now. It's called Flipgrid. Flipgrid is an application program. Download it to your computer. Have your kids push a few buttons. It will activate the camera on their Chromebook, on their iPhone, on their laptop, on their tablet. You post a question for them. Any question that you want. You post a time limit. I would suggest 90 seconds. Nobody wants to watch longer than 90 seconds. That's the time limit that I posted for Sir Ken Robinson. Those teachers were told, ask Sir Ken in 90 seconds or less your question. Ask your students a question. They film themselves. It goes up to the website, the Flipgrid website. And then you can watch, you can score, you can grade. Fellow classmates can grade, score, comment on. It's really, really interesting. We put up there for Sir Ken and sent out to all the teachers in the state an invitation to ask him a question via Flipgrid. Do you remember how many teachers he said responded? 28. Now, why is that? Why is that? Now, I have a theory, and that theory is us adults are far less comfortable in front of a camera than are the young'uns. They live for moments like this. So there you go. My shot at trying to leave you with something new and something valuable. Microsoft just purchased Flipgrid last month. It is now free of charge. I will come back to Flipgrid in just a second. 3 things I want to do. I want to tell you a quick story about myself. I want to introduce to you some new personalized, high-quality, free-of-charge professional development. And then I want to close, if I can hit my mark, with how to acquire swag and earn some money. I'm halfway through. I don't know if I'll make it, but I'm going to give it a try. I teach at San Marino High. Prior to 2010, if I wanted to learn to become a better teacher, I had 4 options. 5. None of them particularly good. And then in 2010, with the launch of the Common Core standards, things changed considerably. Say what you will about the Common Core, but I believe when it's all said and done, education will change more under the Common Core than it has changed in any period of our history, and that includes the Brown v. Board of Education case that integrated the schools. One thing that will change in this new era, other than how we teach, how students learn, and how students are assessed, if all of that has to change, professional development has to change as well. What are some of the best examples of this post-2010 change in professional development? Free, personalized, high quality, but first and foremost, it's teacher conferences. You all know what the best one is, right? Let me see if I can leave you with something else that's brand new. How many of you know of the June annual Arcadia Innovation Summit? Yeah, similar to the, two things now that are new. Similar to the one that we have here, similar. And of course, there are also the ed camps. What else have we got that's new since 2010? Online advice. Okay, that's been around. Come on. But what is new are the number of entities like Edutopia, PBS's Teachers Lounge, and KQEDs in the classroom that allow for teachers to have a voice that has been edited, that has been honed to perfection. All three of these, if you have not given them a shot, just curious here, how many of you are hearing about KQED in the classroom for the very first time? Articles by teachers, for teachers, on how teachers integrate tech and digital media. Please give it a look. Online courses, all new since 2010. Can anybody name one? KQED has also come up just this last month with something called KQED Teach, using media as text. In other words, if you want to learn how to improve your digital media skills, how to blog, podcast, learn how to decide what is good media versus not so good media. Wonderful, wonderful classes up there for you to sign up and take. All of this new since 2010. And then my favorite, if you're the teacher who believes that the single best way for you to learn to better serve your students, the single best way for you to become a better teacher is to share your work, then we are truly living in a golden age of professional development. Just check this out. Today, a teacher can host a webinar, Twitter chat, blog, podcast, teacher conference. Host a webinar, Twitter chat, blog, or podcast. You can also contribute to one. You can also speak at a teacher conference. You can also become an ambassador. How many of you are ambassadors in this room right now? Oh my gosh. Ambassador for? Caesar. Anybody else? Because you see, here's where the swag comes in. Become an ambassador, and you can get all this. I got the purse. I got the shirt, I got the coffee cup, and my goodness gracious, I also have the I Have a Voice Flipgrid shirt. See what I mean? We came back to Flipgrid. Become a Flipgrid ambassador. They send you a free shirt. For those of you who want to learn more on how to share, the details, the specifics, to all those other things I just put up on the slide, I documented this in an article that I wrote for Edutopia last year, sharing your best work. Might want to take a look. And last but not least, what I said I would start off with an opportunity for you to earn some money. In the classroom, articles by teachers for teachers on how to integrate tech and digital media into the classroom. If that is you, and you have a story in you, regardless of how well you can write, send me an email. Pitch that story to me. If I green light that story, I'll send you a contract. You produce a draft. I will then edit the draft. I'll make you look really, really good. And guess what happens then? KQED will send you a check for $125. We live in a golden age of professional development. I'm incredibly jealous of all of you who are in this room who have many more years to take advantage of that golden age. After 30, I'm just about done. I want to thank you for the time. I got to wrap up. I want to thank Connie and Azusa Pacific for inviting me to be here today. Thank you.